Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. There were some very interesting developments today in MapleStory Korea, including a lot of balance changes and mini revamps for some classes, as well as some horrendous changes that hopefully won't be ported over. Let's dive right in. So first up, content-wise, there are a few nice things that I want to mention. There's a new boss called the first adversary, who's like every class at once. Now this fight is going to be looking pretty dope. This is a full-on endgame boss which rewards a medal that can get bonus stats. The party UI is getting an overhaul, so it will be easier to see your party members' combat power, and the friend list will be expanded. And a skill was added to swap special ring skills like the overhaul 4. There also were some very questionable changes, at least when it comes to porting them over to GMS. So in MapleStory Korea's latest test client update, they changed the weekly boss limit. Characters can now only defeat 12 bosses a week, 12 weekly bosses every week, and the drop rate of pitched items has been lowered. Instead, Maplers can now, if they're lucky, find a box when defeating Kaling, Kalos and Baldricks that give out a pitched item. So they're making it harder to get these pitched items and are then rushing players towards higher level bosses so that hopefully they can just get one of these boxes instead. Like a chance, right? It doesn't guarantee that they drop this. Like again, like the pitched items, there's a small chance that it will drop. Also keep in mind there is no heroic or reboot server in MapleStory Korea, so players are being pushed to either play more or of course spend more. And to make things worse, the mechanical hard drop from Lotus was removed, and the grindstone drop rate from normal Kalos was reduced as well. I guess this was done to make pitched items rarer and more valuable, and of course to push newer players to get stronger, aka spend more, but still this all feels very anti-fun, and I sincerely hope that the GMS team will skip these changes, even though I'm positive that my pitch drop rate cannot get any lower than it actually is, even though I don't want to find out. Honestly, those changes feel very KMS oriented, so I'm assuming or well, hoping that they are not happening for GMS at least, because it looks like we're going in the opposite direction judging from the recent Inkwell memo. In case you missed that one, the video is in the description. And then there are class changes. I will link the notes in the pinned comments, you can check out your class as well in case I don't mention it here. But wow, I think almost every class that is getting skill damage percentage changes is getting nerfed, at least a little bit. First up, some nicer news, Venom Burst is now a passive. Also, for all Explorer mages, Magic Guard, Teleport and Infinity are now passives. The Unstable Memory skill has been removed. Guns Nina shared this image in my Discord server. Looks like the passive boost is capped at 74%. Also, most attacks from both Explorer mages seem to have lower damage percentages. Actually, even Bishop isn't safe either. For example, Chain Lightning's damage went from 220% to 135%. Make sure to check out the full notes, as I will cover 3 more classes that had some very interesting changes. Starting off with Blaze Wizard, this class got a bit of a rework. It seems like their orbital flame attack is now, you can now like hold the key down and just move while using it, sort of like a hurricane attack. Also, Phoenix Drive is now this big circle around you, and your big flame circle attack now just triggers once, no more stack, just holding one big attack with a 120-second cooldown. Then there is Lara, who will no longer use Dragon Veins. Instead, she'll just use her skills as is, which is also a huge change to how her core skills work. She's basically just another mage now. She also has now a normal up jump, and even Blaster isn't safe with big changes, like the removal of all the charging of his previous charging skills. You just use the skill as is now. The reason why these changes are all pretty significant is because Nexon is changing the core of how these classes work, their unique identity as is, and while their unique skill mechanics might also cause for, some inconveniences, it also made the classes who they are. And if this goes on, in like 2 years from now, I can see every class just being a simple class with the same mechanics and just different skill animations. Maybe it won't be that bad, but I like it when a class feels different to play, even if it is more work or less convenient. But I don't know, maybe that's just my opinion, you have a different opinion, feel free to let me know in the comments. I don't know about this one, Nexon. Most people seem to be pretty sad that their classes are getting nerfed or changed. For example, the Fire Poison Archmage forum on Invim is ripping this update apart. Yeah, Google Translate translates Fire Poison to Bulldog for some reason. Kali though is one of the few classes where it looks like she is getting an overall buff at least. Oh well, at least Kane isn't getting any changes, so no nerfs for us. So big changes in the direction MapleStory is going, at least class-wise. And it seems to me like we won't get those pitch drop rate nerfs, but maybe that's just hopium. Or what does everyone else think? Let me know in the comments. And that's already all I had for this video. Just a quick update of what's happening in MapleStory Korea. Thank you all for watching, and as always, special thanks to our members for making these videos possible. Special thanks to Niels de Comic, Rama Waar, Sebastian Hanoi, Cowdy Mora, Wine Lee, Backspace OTI, Ziggy Deer, Flidiot, Knifesu, Cloudfix, Michael Menchaka, Ratius, Betrayal 1489, Silvio Nato, Striker Elk, Ricer RU, Max Bernhardt, The Passenger, Scotty Flies Fast, Only, Spotsdy, Snaffupop, Dewey Tran, Connie Wu, Domikirch Nehammer, Dex Zoo, Dante Victory, The Wolf Drake, Lord Fazil, Mathenu Dev, Tils Kurspet, DVNCA, and Schwandro. Thank you so much for watching.